Tories out! Corbyn in! Tories out! Corbyn in! Tories out! Corbyn in!
When they say coup, we say F you! When they say coup, we say F you! Democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. PLP, this is what democracy looks like. Keep Corbyn, keep Corbyn, keep Corbyn, keep Corbyn, keep Corbyn.
We got to get this debate moving back to is the policies. We need somebody in this country who's going to turn around, stand up for working people. We need a new deal for workers in this country. We need an end to the appalling housing crisis. And we need a government, and a Labour government, led by Jeremy Corbyn and John McDonnell, who are going to intervene in the free market economy.
Because he knows no matter how many times they challenge Jeremy, no matter how many times he has to come to the Labour Party membership, the Labour Party that wants to be a movement again, Jeremy Corbyn will get re-elected time and time.
Now I'll say this from Young Labour. Young Labour represents everyone in the Labour Party under the age of 27. Last year it tripled in size. That is not a coincidence. Young people joined in droves for Jeremy Corbyn, for a new vision of what this country could be and a new vision of what the Labour Party could be saying about it. And now is not the time for the PLP to let us down.
That's the choice. The Labour Party is at a crossroads. This isn't just about supporting Jeremy Corbyn, it's about supporting Jeremy Corbyn's ideas. It's about supporting the principle of anti-austerity. It's about supporting the principle of socialism. That's what it's about.
Someone that has been with them all these years. So it's about more than one man. It's about the people that need a progressive Labour government, and also the people internationally that need a Labour government that will stand up for international peace and justice.
This attempted coup has been planned for months. We all know this, but we all know that these people, they're not scared of Jeremy because he's unelectable. They're scared because the anti-racist, anti-austerity, anti-war politics that he represents could actually win.
Let me say this. I want to say this. Make this absolutely clear to you. Jeremy Corbyn was elected only 9 months ago with the biggest mandate that any political leader has had from the rank and file of a membership of their party. The biggest. We call that democracy.
Friends, can I just... Friends, please. Straight after we won the leadership election last year, we came to this very same spot to speak up for the rights of refugees to live in our society. And one of the horrible disfigurements of our society is racism, is intolerance, and the violence that's often associated with it. And sadly, this has increased
over the last few days. Can we all agree we are going to unite together as one people, one society, one community to oppose racism? And so, I just ask you this very carefully and very specifically. When we disagree with each other, as we sometimes do, when we disagree with other people, as we sometimes do, if we hurl abuse at each other, I hurl abuse at you, you hurl abuse at me, I hurl it back, the first 2 or 3 times it's quite funny, or can be. The 4th or 5th time, you've totally lost the audience who may have been listening to you in the first place. So, we pursue the politics of justice, of equality, of human rights, of peace around the world, but we also pursue the politics of respect, of how we treat each other. And so, that way, we build greater unity. That way, we build a unity of people. I do not want to live in a country where there are people sleeping on the streets while the mansions are kept empty. I do not want us to walk away from any international conventions on human rights and replace them with something else. Because to me, human rights are universal, not national. And so, the political atmosphere we have is about challenging those orthodoxies. But it's also about challenging an economic orthodoxy that has been on the rampant march for 30 years or more. When Reaganomics took over in the United States, when Thatcher took over in Britain and destroyed the manufacturing industry and so much of the economic base of our society, the whole agenda was the redistribution of wealth away from the majority to a very small, very wealthy majority, otherwise known as rolling back of the state and rolling back of the role of the community in the provision of services. I don't want to be somebody that says to young people, sorry, you're not going to have it as good as we did because the nation can't afford it, and sorry, your children, our grandchildren, are not going to have it as good as you are because the nation can't afford it. And we then cascade inequality and poverty and debt down the generations? Or are we to say that the brilliance of technology, the brilliance of science, the brilliance of engineering can, should and must be the tool and the opportunity for the redistribution of wealth, for the opportunities of equality, and that we develop an economy that excites people and mobilises a whole generation that have been told they only have to look forward to a lifetime of debt in the future. That's why the movement we now have in Britain, the movement for social justice and the movement for equality, is so strong, why it reaches out so broadly. Because we learn from each other, because we learn from the values of each other, because we learn from the history of each other, because we learn from the tolerance of each other, for whatever grouping, ethnicity, faith we happen to be. That is where unity comes in, and that is what makes us strong. Don't let the media divide us. Don't let those people who wish us ill divide us. Stay together, strong and united for the kind of world we want to live in. Thank you very much.
The trade unions have supported it. Can we say a huge thank you to our trade union signer?